his good lady are what you might call cornerstones of this setup. The years ago when I was here, they were very, very diligent, as they are now, no doubt, and I think the club owes them a lot for their dedication and duty.
You obviously enjoyed massive success at this football club, but it was then you moved on into the big time as such. Last Englishman to win the first division.
Let me correct you. When I was here, that was big time. Big time for Manchester United is no greater than big time for here. And what went on here then and what's going on now is easily equal to the other force. So from my point of view, having arrived here, not having been here for yonks, I'm just very, very impressed, and I can only think that most of what's been done, a lot of what's been done will have been done by volunteers. So I think that's unbelievable. So well done, everybody.
Anybody reading page 17 in the programme today will recognise you won an awful lot of honours at this club. What was the highlight for you?
The highlight for me was good news and bad news. It was coming within seconds of knocking the then league champions, first division champions, Derby County, out of the FA Cup, when a header hit a post, landed on the line and stuck in the mud, which would have meant we'd have won the game 1-0. We put so much into that game that by the time the replay came round, we were still all knackered and got battered. But that performance at Derby County was, looking back on my time in football, that would be one of the special days.
And you went on to Leeds United and won the old First Division in 1992, still the last Englishman to do so.
Unfortunately, yeah. But that's c'est la vie. We are now, the game in this country is now worldwide, and despite the fact that there are lots of people coming in from all over the place, at the end of the day, it's still a fantastic game, and it's still a beautiful game, and it's a game that I owe a lot to. I've been employed in football all my life and never worked a day in my life.
Same. Not many Boston United players or managers have gone on to manage their country, but you've done that.
Yeah, only on a part-time basis when the powers that be had ensured that the team hadn't got a manager. But I've been with the FA for years and years and years, going right back into the 70s. Even my time when I was here, I was doing work for the FA. Despite its image and despite what it does sometimes, which is we won't talk about. It is still, I think, one of the best federations. Having worked for UEFA, having worked for FIFA, I think it takes some beating. I think the football pyramid here is probably the best in the world.
And you've been LMA chairman, I believe, for over 30 years, but you're stepping down this summer, is that right?
I am, yes. I tried to step down last year, but they wouldn't let me. So I stepped up again. But yes, end of this season, I'll say goodbye to what has been a very, very enjoyable. I mean, when we started yonks ago, we didn't have Graham Taylor and I both share the view that managers should be involved more than we were in the decision making of the bodies. There was no consultation with us at all. So we formed the League Managers Association in order to, one, where we could, protect our members and help our members out, which we still do. Now we've developed into, we have about 30 employees who look after all sorts of things, most of which is welfare for our members and their families. But it's just another example of how lucky we are to be employed in, or to be a fan of this wonderful game. I know that I watch all the sports I can watch, but my go-to sport will always be football.
Mr. Blackwell only gets top guests to accompany him. We've also got former Premier League referee Peter Jones and former Football League referee Phil Jobling. Have they ever cost you a game?
If referees were bank managers, we'd all be struggling. We'd all be struggling. Their advice on investments would be
what is it?
seriously, look, yeah, players are what we see, but without referees, linesmen, without people who turn up here and work voluntarily just to keep this club progressing, that's why the game is as great as it is, because you look at the very top where there's people earning millions, and you look down at the very bottom where there's people earning nothing other than the gratitude and the enjoyment they get from doing what they do. It is a fantastic sport.
Well, it's very much appreciated that you've joined us today. I think everybody is delighted to see you. Hopefully at half time you'll draw the 50-50 for us and take part in a little presentation, but we have got one more presentation, but I'll let you do it.
Can I just say, because I know I'm not going to get another word in here, and unfortunately I've got to leave about 10 minutes before the end of the game. So, because I've got a long-term, my wife and I have got a long-term commitment this evening in Sheffield, and if I don't get back for that, I'll be confined to the cellar again, existing on water and whatever the dog is.
Thank you very much.